Let's run it back to the 1989 film Back to the Future Part 2 and discuss the sneakers in the movie, especially the most famous sneaker in the movie, the Nike Mag. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you enjoy my content so far. And if you haven't already, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Now today we're talking about the Nike Mag that originally released in 1989 as a prop for the movie Back to the Future Part 2, worn in the movie by Marty McFly. You first see the Nike Mag early on in the movie when Doc Brown and Marty McFly reach 2015 and land the DeLorean. Doc Brown comes out with the Nike footwear bag and tells Marty to put on the outfit that he has in the Nike footwear bag.
Put on the jacket and the shoes.
Out he pulls the Nike Mag. And if you were like me, you probably lost your mind and were like, what Nikes are those? But as soon as Marty McFly, aka Michael J. Fox, put the shoes on his feet and you heard
Power laces, all right.
I think almost everybody in that theater lost their mind and were wondering when and where could we get these shoes. Not to mention the hat, the jacket, and the coolest prop in the movie, the unbelievable hoverboard. And we all know how that scene goes. Marty McFly gets chased around the pond in front of the clock tower. The shoes are only worn for that one scene, and he tosses it in the back of the DeLorean, and we don't see the Nike Mag ever again. When we saw that movie for years and years, we wished that Nike would recreate the Nike Mag from that movie. Unfortunately, it never happened, and we were left to ourselves to create our own Nike Mags throughout the years until 2011. There was some custom makers out of the RPF forums, replica prop forums. They would discuss ways of making the Nike Mag, and there was a pretty decent ones made over the years. There was one made by Mark Poon. He had a pretty good Nike Mag replica. And then in 2011, word scattered throughout the sneaker world, the movie world, the Back to the Future world, that the Nike Mag was going to release. We didn't know if it was going to have power laces or if it was going to be like the movie, or if it was going to be another Hyperdunk that they released a long time ago that looked like the Nike Mag, which had some Back to the Future features, which looked like the Nike Mag, but wasn't the Nike Mag. But in 2011, for Parkinson's research, we finally get a release version of the Nike Mag that was designed in collaboration with Tinker Hatfield, Nike, and Tiffany Beers. She was a creative director at Nike at the time, and I think she was an engineer who helped with the mechanisms to make the lights and everything work inside the Nike Mag shoe. And while we were all excited that we would get the Nike Mag, unfortunately it was only available through auction, which most of us, I believe, all tried to win the auction. I do know a friend of mine who has the authentic pair that he won, or I think he either bought from someone who won at auction or he got them at auction. When they did release, some of us unfortunately did not win the auction. So we were kind of a little choked that we could not own a piece of footwear history as well as movie history. So we went online searching for maybe replicas that would fulfill our need for the Nike Mag. Now, early on, there was some Chinese knockoffs that were pretty good, known in the sneaker world or in the Back to the Future world as the version 1, aka the V1. Now, these ones looked like the Nike Mag. They had some Nike branding. They came in the big yellow box that Nike released the 2011 version, and it came with all the specs, but it just didn't look as well as the authentic one that we saw release in 2011. After that, there was another version that was released by Universal Studios, which actually looked worse than that Chinese knockoff that you would see early on. It kind of looked puffy, like it actually looked like a costume pair of Nike Mags, but it was officially licensed by Universal Studios, so it had all the authentic stuff that was allowed to be put on it, less the Nike branding. Somehow, throughout the sneaker community and the prop replica forums and the Back to the Future community, we found this website. I do not know if it's still around anymore, but it was called Sneaker Ahead, that was producing what we now know as the V3 replica of the 2011 Nike Mag. That is the version that I have, so I'm not trying to say that mine is authentic, but if you look at this replica of the Nike Mag, it looks pretty authentic to me. It comes with the original yellow magnetic anti-gravity sticker. It comes with the yellow box. It's signed by Tinker Hatfield and Tiffany Beers. Also comes with the original packaging, the metal license plate, the tag that goes around the poster that says it's about time. Also comes with the gigantic poster showing you what you can do with the sneakers, what you're allowed to use them with, what they're meant for, and so on and so on. So at this time in 2011, this was the best version that you could find copy of the authentic one. Now, I did try to get the authentic one, but unfortunately, it was way out of my price range, and this was in my price range. So I took a gamble on this one, and luckily, it came in perfect form, came with the box, came with everything as described. The shoe lights up. You see how the lights light up? On camera, this probably doesn't look as good as it should, but you can see that it says green, orange, and red, and the LED or the lights here light up, and also the Nike on the strap lights up. Everything works on this shoe. So I've had this since the original release in 2011. It has everything you would see on the original Nike Mag. You can see how it says Nike Mag. It has your clear sole. It's got the green, yellow, and red bubbles. It has the exact same as the authentic pair of Nike Mags. It has the straps that actually come out and go back in. It has the Nike on the strap. It has the exact same shape as the authentic. I've had the authentic in my hand. Shout out to Jay Au, who has the authentic pair. Mine is one-to-one copy of that authentic pair. There are some certain things to a person who owns the authentic pair or a real stickler of the original pair will know that right off the bat that this is a replica. But in my opinion, it's a replica of a replica of a replica prop from a movie. So to me, I'm buying this shoe and got this shoe because it's part of history as a movie prop. So to me, I have this as a prop, not as a fake shoe, but it's a prop for my Back to the Future collection. And this is the best version, in my opinion, that fits into the collection. And in 2015, we actually get power laces. Nike, Tiffany Beers, and Tinker Hatfield finally come up and invent the power lacing technology, which they used for the Nike Adapt, which they used from that technology that they were working on that shoe and moved it into the Nike Mag. So in 2015, another auction was held for pairs that had the actual power laces. So in 2015, the Nike Mag released exactly like the movie with power lacing. Unfortunately, was not able to acquire the 2015 version, and I wasn't going out to find any of the replicas, as this one that I had, the V3, was pretty good. But in 2015, they actually had more versions of the replicas that came out after this one. There was the V3.1 that was an improvement on this one, which had a clearer air bubble or a clearer bubble around the LED lights and clearer midsole that looked more like the 2011 remake of the Nike Mag that came out. And then all of a sudden, there was a actual Nike Mag V4 one-to-one copy of the 2015 release that actually has power laces. If you look hard enough and you study hard enough, you could probably find them for a pretty decent price. I'm happy with Nike releasing the authentic ones. I'm also happy with the replica mags that came out over the years. If you're a Back to the Future fan, a sneaker fan, a movie fan, the Nike Mag is one of those shoes that it doesn't matter if it's a replica or if it's real. If it looks good and it looks like the one in the movie, I'm pretty sure you're happy with it. I've seen a lot of replicas over the years. I did a lot of studying on the Nike Mag to see which one was the best for my dollars and where I wasn't going to get scammed. I talked to a few people in the RPF forums, such as Jedi Fife. Make sure you follow him on Instagram and on YouTube, as he has a great comparison between his authentic pair that he won at auction, version 1 replicas, and the V3 replicas. I spoke to him for a long time trying to figure out if I was going to buy these or not, and he even says in his video that these are pretty much a one-to-one copy of that authentic pair. So if you want a pair to wear or just to have in your collection, the V3, V3.1, or the V4 will do the trick. Now, if you want the authentics, you could probably find them at the high-end boutique stores in New York City or online, like Flight Club. But all in all, I'm happy with the Nike Mag, and I'm happy with my Nike Mag replica. I don't know if Robert Zemeckis was good friends with Phil Knight, but the whole cast of the movie and also all the people that were working on the set were wearing a lot of Nike outfits. As an added bonus in the film Back to the Future Part 2, you can see a young Elijah Wood wearing the Nike Hoop High from 1988. You can also see the young kid with Elijah Wood wearing the Nike Trainer 3 Medicine Ball. So throughout the film, if you look closely, you can see a lot of Nike footwear worn by some of the extras in the movie in the background. I hope you enjoyed today's episode on Let's Run It Back with 4C23 on the Nike Mag. What do you guys think about the Nike Mag? Do we want a general release pair to release one day? Do you think it should have stayed in the vault? Do you think it should just be a movie prop? Or are we happy for all the versions? The real one, the fake ones, the replicas, the ones done by RPF Forum prop makers? What do you guys all think about the Nike Mag? I love the Nike Mag. I like my prop replica Nike Mag. I have no complaints. If you enjoy my episode, make sure you comment below. Make sure you leave a like and let me know how I'm doing. And until next time, peace.